Joe, can we get one last question in?
Yeah, we're you know me. I'm
Randy, OSTROW, take us home.
I will. Joe, thank you. Bon dia.
Bon dia.
Yes. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you and I'm making a lot of notes, and the analogy comes to mind. You're like a Navy SEAL that post duty has turned it into a coaching career and into something wonderful because you're a charismatic, fantastic guy. My question is, does the U.S. Olympic Committee help the other athletes that aren't as charismatic? Because I know in TCC, we have a lot of military people and people transitioning out of the military, and some of them struggle with that. And I've heard, that the United States government doesn't necessarily do a great job helping them to transition. For those athletes that maybe didn't win a gold medal or don't have a personality like you, does the Olympic Committee help them to get back into real life when they're done with their sport?
So I want to be careful how I say this because I've been away from the United States for a long time. I think there are some good people and some good intentions along these lines. But I actually would rather talk a little bit about the military for a moment because I learned something really important that I think would serve the Olympic movement really well. When I was the CEO of USA Canoe Kayak, canoeing became a para-Olympic sport. And it was very exciting for us because, we were sort of in the same business of developing high performance athletes, but now high performance canoeing athletes with physical disability. And so there are a few different avenues that you can go when you're doing the talent identification for para canoeing. We decided to go the route of military, specifically injured veterans who had been injured in in their service, in their time serving the country. We figured, the pride, their sense of fitness, their sense of love for country, the desire to learn something new. And so the biggest thing that I learned so quickly when we started to work with soldiers was that the military was so open and saying, we have so many soldiers that need help. We cannot do it alone. So in 2013, when I started working on this project, at the time in the US, there was between 12 and 13,000 nonprofits only dedicated to, some helping injured military veterans in some way, buying a house, physical activities, programs for kids, all these different kinds of things. And it got me just sort of thinking, like, I actually love the way the military was so open to working with, figuring out ways. They put out standards, protocols for being one of those 13,000 nonprofits. US Olympic Committee doesn't have anything like that. They don't have this way of working with so many different nonprofits. There's usually a lot of not very, in my time doing this, the working relationship with the US Olympic Committee and any Olympic organization is very defensive. Hey, those are our Olympic rings. You can't associate with us. This isn't, we'll take it. And they're not really capable of doing all the things that they want to do. I just think something like that would be better. I think one of the things I like about working with Valor Performance, the other coaches that I work with, not a lot of Olympians that were there, but there are several. I've just never been around a group of Olympians where the egos get checked at the door so quickly. That never happened to me in all the time I spent working or being around the US Olympic movement. So yes, there are programs, but I also think that the US Olympic Committee would be really well served to figure out ways to work with a lot of nonprofits that want to work with athletes in that way. They're not going to be possessive about the trademarks and the rings and all that other things. But if the goal is really to help people, the goal is really people over everything, having that as a vision, that will get you there. When it's not that, you won't get that. It's been a while. I am very grateful for the life I have today. I'm very grateful for the distance that I have, the perspective, the Olympic Committee. I made a lot of good friends there. There are a lot of good people there. I just don't think it's an organization that is really, that has put its best foot forward in that way. thank God there's people like Joe Malloy that are actually looking out after the people, and really giving them that, and I just think our expectations, if we expect the U.S. Olympic Committee to do that, I think it will eventually be disappointed.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate your time and being here with us today. And
I can't wait to get back on the other side.
great. Thank you.